committee of the whole to order here in the police community room at 6 p.m. We do not have any remote electronic attendance. We begin with 3.1 presentation. Ms. Barnes, the Finance Director. Government Finance Officers Association's Award of Financial Reporting Achievement.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor and Council. I am very proud and honored to announce that under your leadership, with the City of Moline and your outstanding finance department has been awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the 30th consecutive year from GFOA, the Government Finance Officers of America. The audit submission for our 30th consecutive year was for 2021. It takes about a year for the whole review process to be completed. And we just got the announcement in the board here on April 17th. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of financial reporting recognition in municipal government. Kathy Carr, your previous finance director, whom I believe a lot of you know, she submitted the very first report for the Certificate of Achievement back in 1991. Now, 30 years later, I am honored to be a part of your current team that has continued those high levels of excellence in financial reporting. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. To achieve the award, our audit report is reviewed by select members of GFOA who are experts in public sector financial reporting, and they include independent auditors, financial statement preparers, and finance professionals and academics. Each report is reviewed using a checklist to determine compliance with generally accepted accounting principles and program policy, as determined by GFOA's executive board. A Certificate of Achievement is only awarded if there is consensus among all reviewers that a financial report complies with both GAAP and program policy. Any exception of compliance disqualifies you. So for 30 years, we've worked some magic. Your finance department, some of who are with us tonight over there against the wall, are truly second to none. They are some of the most dedicated, hardworking, and knowledgeable staff that I have had the pleasure to work with. They truly are my work family, and at times we spend more time together than we do with our own families, especially on some of the evenings and during the budget and audit, especially on the weekends. I'd like to take just a moment and introduce to you some of the accounting staff that are with us tonight. We have a total staff of 15, and I think we've got 6 of them here that were able to come tonight. And I just want to say these are the ones that truly make all of us look good each and every day. The first one I'll say is Lori Uloa. She is your Assistant Finance Director, and I've had the pleasure of working with her for almost 30 years. She's outstanding. Keith Verbeck, he is our Finance Manager. Every one of our staff loves to work with every single day. He's the one that puts a smile on our faces and keeps us motivated. Again, outstanding. And then we have Lupe Ramirez. She is our newly promoted accounting manager, and she brings a lot of expertise and years of experience. And we've got Andrea Bradley, who is our upcoming accountant. And so we are so pleased to have her on staff as well. And we've got Will Tomey, one of our accounting technicians, very dedicated, and he has the most experience of all of our accounting technicians right now. But they are the ones, like I say, that make us look good each and every day. I just want to say thank you so much for all your support here over the last few years, and we will continue to work hard for you and for our brand new council that's coming on board each and every day. So
Thank you so much. Have we gotten a picture from her?
I'm sorry.
Miss somebody, Carol.
I had her on a separate line, so I thought. And Courtney, we leave the best for them. She is our finance coordinator, purchasing coordinator, and our budget guru. So yeah, she helps with everything we do. And she's actually got the plaque that we'd like to present to you.
Wonderful.
And we're expecting our little gold button that's going to be coming here in the next couple of weeks. Great. Would you like to give that to Mayor? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Our next item of business is 3.2, 2023 Water Art Contest Winner Announcement. Mr. Lodi, and actually, Mr. Brown.
Hello, my name is Charlie Brown, the Utilities Lab Manager, and this little artist is Lee Bonjour. So the Water Division recently conducted our 2023 Water Division Art Contest. And what this is we ask all the participating elementary schools, their third grade art teachers, to help the students kind of do two things. One is, of course, to advance their creativity, because if it didn't do that, why would the art teachers give us a second shot? And the other one is to bring attention and promotion to the city's great tasting and healthy tap water. So the way the contest works is we come up with a theme, and this year's theme was Healthy Water, Healthy You, as you can see on Kinsley's art. And we asked all the art teachers, and they all participated this year, which was great. All schools participated. And the art teacher picks out the school's winner. So we don't have our job be too difficult. The art teacher picks out the school winner, and then he sends them over to the water division. And then what we do is we vote at the water plant. And this year we actually added a new segment to them, which was an online poll. I don't know if any of you guys got a chance to vote in that. And then we took the two results and we put them together. So this wouldn't be doable if it wasn't for the principals letting their schools to do this contest. If the art teachers didn't give us their time and their talent to do it. But mostly it wouldn't be doable if it wasn't for all the little artists that we have in the city. So the only thing that makes art better, I think we can all agree, is if you make it a cutthroat competition. Especially among third graders. So that's what we did. And there can be only one winner. And this year's winner is Kinsley Bonjour. So if you'd like to show him. Kinsley's art, you might have noticed it, the big poster outside. That'll be hung on the walls at the water plant for decades to come if you've ever toured the water plant. Got to be adults by now. Yeah, time goes, right? And then what we also have out there is each individual school winner. So you can see all those artists that were not as good as Kinsley, right? We'll have the school winners. We have it at the city hall for everyone to see, and then we also have it at the library. And so when we went to the schools and we told the school winners that, they were very, very excited that the big important people at city hall would be walking by their art. So you've got them fooled. And I'd like to thank Kinsley's family, Mr. and Mrs. Bonjour, and Grandma, and then Kinsley's principal, Mr. Etheridge, for showing up. And I hope you guys will all join me and the family in encouraging Kinsley's future artistic endeavors.
Come up this way.
Sure.
Thanks. Congratulations. Right here.
Let's get the water.
Misty. Misty, what if I feel over there?
Watch your little guidance.
Stand.
No room in right there. See you back there.
Great. Enjoy. Thank you so much. I'm glad you participated.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Okay, our next item of business are proclamations this evening. The first one is proclamation from the American Waterworks Association to declare May 7th through 13th, 2023 as Drinking Water Week. And the you want to say anything, Mr. Lodi?
I do.
Very timely, very timely.
Perfect.
So, Your Honor, and Council, it is not by accident that when you open up your faucet, that water comes out and it just disappears down the drain. It's not, there's no magic. It's not by accident. There's no magicians or unicorns in the waterworks. It is due to a trained staff of dedicated individuals that are on the job 24/7 to make that happen. So I ask you to make this proclamation on their behalf tonight.
And I'm happy to do so. The proclamation reads, whereas water is our most valuable natural resource, and whereas only tap water delivers public health protection, fire protection, support for our economy, and the quality of life we enjoy, and whereas any measure of a successful society, low mortality rates, economic growth and diversity, productivity, and public safety are in some way related to access to safe water, whereas we are all stewards of the water infrastructure upon which future generations depend, and whereas each resident of the city of Moline is called upon to help protect our source waters from pollution, practice water conservation, and to become involved in local water issues by learning about this valuable resource. Now, therefore, I, Sangeeta Redpati, Mayor of Moline, do hereby proclaim May 7th through 13th, 2023 as Drinking Water Week. Thank you so much, Mr. Lodi, and congratulations. And our second proclamation is a new one for us this evening, and this is a proclamation from the International Institute of Municipal Clerks, IIMC, to declare the week of April 30th through May 6th, 2023 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week. We could not do anything that we do without our illustrious clerks. So the proclamation reads, whereas the office of Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, and whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now, therefore, I, Sangeeta Redpati, Mayor of Moline, do hereby proclaim the week of April 30th through May 6th, 2023 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week in the city of Moline, Illinois. I further extend appreciation to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Thank you so much. Any questions on our agenda this evening? Seeing none, we move to our informational, the May 2023 Status and Information Report. Mr. Vitas.
So as you know, we started some time ago under this current council preparing status and information reports in order to communicate not only with ourselves as a staff internally, but also with the council. So going forward, obviously the May 23rd report represents the end of April, always reported on time during the first meeting in the following month. I haven't seen any questions come to me lately on the status information report, but I'm always available, as are the staff who really compiled this report, to share responses not only with those who are seated here today, but those about to join us. So as we go forward, if there are questions at any time on the status information report, it's my job to make sure that you get that response. And with that, we file this as a matter of public record today.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the council? I just have one very small thing. I clarified at last month's that the 2 AM licensure thing is off the table. We're looking at the 3 AM requirements. And I think we have some things under that section that are actually completed. So I know we just had a big quarterly report that really, that was the big heavy hitter. So we just keep an eye on really where we're at on those.
Liquor licensing.
Well, it's the legal things, they're ordinance.
Okay, very good. And we
Okay.
will.
Thank you. Is there any public comment this evening? Hearing none, we'll call our regular council meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there an invocation, Mr. Waldron? Okay. We move to a roll call, please. Alderperson Williams,
Present.
Macias,
Present.
Went, Timian,
Present.
Moyer,
Present.
O'Brien,
Present.
Waldron,
Present.
Schmidt.
Present.
Your Honor, I request approval of Committee of the Whole and Council meeting minutes of April 25th, 2023. Second reading ordinances. Item 13.5, an ordinance amending Chapter 35 zoning and land development of the Moline Code of Ordinances by enacting an amendment to the zoning map incorporated therein as Section 35-3103, 1522, and 1526 46th Avenue. Item 13.2, an ordinance amending Chapter 35 zoning and land development of the Moline Code of Ordinances by enacting an amendment to the zoning map incorporated therein as Section 35-3103, 161 5th Avenue.
Motion approved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda by Alderperson Moyer, seconded by Alderperson
O'Brien.
Ryan. I know, I can't see. Okay. Roll call, please.
Yeah, it's not gonna get easier. It's gonna get tougher.
Alderperson Waldron,
Aye. Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Macias,
Aye.
Timian,
Aye.
Moyer,
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays.
So now I will, do we need a motion to adjourn CNADA? Yes. I need a motion to adjourn CNADA. CNADA.
Second.
All right, that is motion by Alderperson, seconded by Alderperson Macias. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Waldron,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Macias,
Aye.
Timian,
Aye.
Moyer,
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
All right, 7 ayes, no nays.
And so we are adjourned, CNADA, but we'd like you to just hang out until the official exchange, okay? Ms. Christopoulos, I don't need to call the next meeting to order. I just continue to
So you
administer
should,
the oath.
yeah, administer the oaths and
And call the
then,
next council.
yeah,
Thank you.
correct.
So, we will conduct the oaths one by one, starting with Ward 1. And then, if you could just wait over here by Ms. Christopoulos until everyone's been sworn in, then we'll make a nice orderly handoff with each of you. And thank you. I do want to say to those of you leaving us this evening, that I very much appreciate the partnership that you've displayed, the perspectives that you've shared, and the progress that you've helped us make together. And you know I like alliteration, so I couldn't not send you out with another 3P organization like that. It is my goal to continue to have this council provide a vision for the future of Moline that is strong and vibrant and stable, and very thankful that you've helped us set that course. Thank you so much for your service. If you could please join me up here at the podium. You know what? Is it okay if we turn this around so this
Yes,
will be a
absolutely.
outward? Okay. This one is for you. This one is for me. If you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Debbie Murphy,
I, Debbie Murphy,
having been duly elected to the office of First Ward Alderperson,
having been duly elected to the first.
Helps.
Okay, having been duly elected to the first ward alderperson for the city of Moline,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Moline Code of Ordinances,
Moline Code of Ordinances,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of First Ward Alderperson
of the office of first ward alderperson
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations and thank you so would just stand over by Margaret, we'll be all set. Thank you. Could I have Abdur Razak join me, please? So you read this one. I'll read this one. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Abdur Razak,
I, Abdul Razak,
having been duly elected to the office of Third Ward Alderperson
having been duly elected to the office of Third Ward Alderperson
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois
and the Moline Code of Ordinances,
and the Moline Code of Ordinances,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Third Ward Alderperson
of the office of Third Ward Alderperson
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. I'll just hang on. You can sign this one. Thank you. And if you want to stand over there by Debbie, that'd be great. All right, Jessica Finch, please join me. This is for you. All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jessica Finch,
I, Jessica Finch,
having been duly elected to the office of Fifth Ward Alderperson
have been duly elected to the office of Fifth Ward Alderperson
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois
and the Moline Code of Ordinances,
and the Moline Code of Ordinances,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Fifth Ward Alderperson
Fifth Ward Alderperson
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. If you don't mind, one more spot over there. And finally, Ms. Castro.
As per last.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Anna Castro,
I, Anna Castro,
having been duly elected to the office of 7th Ward Alderperson
having been duly elected to the office of 7th Ward Alderperson
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Moline Code of Ordinances,
and the Moline Code of Ordinances,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of 7th Ward Alderperson
of the office of 7th Ward Alderperson
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
for the city of Moline, Illinois,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Congratulations. And now we can trade places. Thank you so much, everyone.
Congratulations. Best of luck. Best of luck. Sam, thank you. So, you know, enjoy your trip.
Okay, please take your seats. Calling this council to order. Here in this chamber, community room at 627. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Murphy.
Present.
Macias.
Present.
Lazat.
Present.
Timian.
Present.
Finch. Present. O'Brien.
Present.
Castro.
Present.
Go to our roundtable, the strategic planning overview, Mr. Vitas.
Well, first of all, that's what we call a smooth, peaceful transition of power. The rest of the country would follow our example in Moline. So that's how it's supposed to be. So it was wonderful to see. With that, let me, first of all, welcome you all. It's great to have you all on board. I've had a chance to meet you and chat with you a little bit, not a lot yet, but so far it's been just a real pleasure to, go through the orientation with each of you, and there's more to come. So be prepared. There'll be a lot of lessons going forward. So in front of you tonight, there should be a brief cover memo, which just explains the purpose behind the strategic planning roundtable. The goal tonight is really not to get into the weeds on the strategic plan, because there's going to be plenty of time to do that next week. I'm going to take you through the plan that we have today, how it came about, and what we'll be doing actually next week. And there's a little bit of a homework assignment we left on the table for you, which is just a follow-up to what the mayor sent you, so that you can see we're a pretty good team. Catch as catch can. So you'll see that is in front of you for the next meeting next week. And I would ask that you take the time to go through that. But as you know, the mayor and the city council departed back in 2021 following the mayor's election, sat down and in May started developing a strategic plan for the city of Moline. I don't know if it was the very first plan, but I can assume that it had been a while since perhaps one existed. And so they went through a long exercise of exploring a lot of issues. At the end of the day, they came up with a draft, so that when I started in June, I was provided with a draft with about 85 different goals that they had identified throughout the community. And that's in part what your homework assignment is goal identification. And we'll explain that in a minute. But as you go through it, you can see that the overview in the front explains basically what we're trying to achieve. It's supposed to, whatever we do from a strategic standing plan point, translates directly into what we do day to day operationally, and where we invest all of the city's resources. And it is all tied very directly to the city's operating budget, as well as its capital improvement plan and budget. So it's all linked. Everything, there's synergy between everything that we do in terms of day-to-day operations, management, planning for the future with the council, and then institutionalizing those in a plan and then implementing them. And that's why you get the status and information report monthly. That's why you see the action plan, quarterly action plan, which is a report card. What kind of progress are we actually making? You know, and so far this staff has done marvelous work, as you'll see tonight. So it advances the city's mission, vision, and core values. So our mission that they described back then was to act in a financially responsible manner, providing quality and efficient city services and creating a sustainable city. That was the mission that we'll be reviewing, and if that is still the mission, we will continue with that mission. The vision, I took some liberty, and I added a vision to our plan. And that vision here is as follows. Through effective, ethical, and transparent governance, Moline will continue to be a municipal leader in Illinois with a staff that delivers exceptional and fiscally responsible services of which this diverse, multicultural community can be proud. I took the liberty to draft that with Tori Brecht. I won't take 100% credit. He's a good writer. I just gave him the ideas and he wordsmithed it, right? So they're linked together, the mission and the vision. And as you look around the room, you can see it as a very multicultural community. 60 languages in the schools that are spoken, you know, English, Spanish, and French, the predominant languages being spoken in the community. So we have a very diverse population that we serve with very diverse needs, you know, from border to border, right? River to river, as well as border to border between Rock Island and East Moline. They took it further and they came up with their core values. And I'm not going to go through all these. You're great readers, highly educated. So collaboration, service and engagement, innovation, adaptability and resiliency, excellence, welcoming and inclusive, and stewardship. I think that defines who this council has been this past 2 years. And I think that is kind of, those are kind of the guiding core values that drives what we do as employees of the city and as elected officials and as volunteers on our boards and our commissions. Let's not forget them. They play a significant role in what we do and provide us with valuable information. As a result, they came up with pillars to support the mission and the vision and those core values. And as we reached into the community, because I will say this, and it's important here, we engage the citizens. We reach out to the citizenry. When we're dealing with large critical issues, whether it's the riverfront development plans for the future, whether it was the skate park that is supposed to one day go underneath the I-74 bridge corridor. All of that, form-based code, all of that requires citizen engagement and involvement. And there's a reason for that, because if you don't, you're going to miss the mark. We're always listening, because if we listen, we learn, and then we can plan accordingly. So that's one of the things we require of almost all projects that we do, that there is some component of engagement of the citizenry that's there. And key stakeholders, let's not forget them. People who are heavily invested in this community. So they came up with 3 pillars and publicly driven very much. First pillar is infrastructure, roads, bridges, lights, signals, water, wastewater, sewer, storm sewer. All of those things make up the infrastructure of the city. That became the first pillar. That's where the citizens spoke the most. Quality of place. That was the second thing. A place that they call home, a place that they embrace, a place that they can live, laugh, learn, play, and work. And that's really what creates that quality. So there's been a lot of momentum behind our thinking for planning purposes. If we're going to redevelop our riverfront, you know, what type of a quality of place will be there for future generations? Because those decisions will be made by this council. You know, as we go forward, that project is well underway, and we expect mid-May, May 15th, Mayor. That'll make you happier. I think I told you the first week of June. It's actually May 15th. We will have responses back from a group of world-class designers, architects, engineers, planners, financiers, in terms of how to do, how to go forward with the development of the, 100 acres, literally between the river and the bluff along the 74 corridor. So, and there will be a lot of citizen engagement in that process as well. One of the requirements. And then the last, of course, is the economy. And without that, nothing happens. Of course, we find ourselves, and you find yourselves as a council at, with some trying issues. I mean, obviously, the economy is not as it was 2 years ago when we created the plan. $1 today doesn't go as far as $1 did 2 years ago. It might only go 70 cents, 20 or 80 cents. So that is the challenge, not only for government in terms of the services we deliver, but for the investors, the people who make things actually happen and get constructed. So those are the challenges that we face as a community, and all communities face across the country. You're not alone. So, but the economy is important. We focused heavily in terms of rebuilding our community and economic development department. That is their charge. That is their responsibility, is to make sure that things do happen. The Boost program is a great example where you had 300 people show up at Western Illinois University, and you had 150 businesses represented in that crowd. And those first applications actually are going through the approval process, and I believe 280,000 was committed just this week. So
285.
385.
285.
280, did I say 280?
You were close.
Thank you. Thank you. That is the CED director. So, Brian Beatlook. So anyhow, so those are our pillars. And then obviously we then get into all of the strategic objectives. There were actually across those pillars, there were 85. And I'm not going to read through these because I think you can probably.
That's the homework.
That's the homework. Your job is to read through these. And while you read through them, if you have questions, prepare those questions for next week, because the entire team is going to be there. So all the directors will be present for the meeting. The council will be present. And this is where we just basically roll up our sleeves, have something to eat, and we start talking. We don't leave until we're done. Right? That's the goal. I will say this about our objectives, and I'm very proud of this fact that, we hit the ground running on this. And the action plan, if you look at the last quarterly action plan report, and you should, and if you don't have it, ask and we'll get it to you. That report literally lays out what has been accomplished. And it's no small feat that, we are probably about 25% spent on the ARPA funding, which is huge. Those are the COVID dollars, basically, is what they are. And we're 100% obligated. So we don't have to worry about anybody in Washington, D.C. clawing back our money. That discussion does happen in the halls of Congress. So we are obligated, and that's important to keep that money secure here. We will spend every penny. We're not returning anything if we can help with money in Moline. So that's where we're at on that. And then in terms of the potential new goals, I just threw a couple out there. These are things that, some things that have not started, and we'll get into those discussion on that. Some of it could be funding, some of it could be just timing or staffing. But potential new goals, exploring federal and state funding opportunities for alternative vehicle fueling stations. Why? We sit on an alternative fuels corridor along I-74, mile in each direction. There are federal and state funds and abundance to make charging stations and alternative fuel systems available for the motoring public. So we're going to be exploring that very heavily going forward. The new fire station, which from a locational standpoint, I understand that work is pretty much done at this stage. And now we're looking at possible renderings of what each of the sites might look like. Because I believe there were 3 sites.
2 for sure.
2 for sure, 3 maybe. So we'll look at that. We'll explain that to you. And when you get the tour of the fire station, you'll understand why. Yeah, I won't have to explain it. And a possible expansion in station number 2. And there's a reason for that as well. The comprehensive housing program. We had a roundtable discussion. Like our Boost program, which is a multifaceted program, there were components everywhere. It was like the spokes of the wheel, but they were all disconnected from the wheel. So, through Ryan's leadership and working with KJ and the team down there, in the CED department, they were able to put together that program. So it's a big umbrella and it's a host of programs underneath. I believe there was a very kind email that came in from a gentleman who opened a business here, which you should read. I believe I forwarded it to you. His sentiments, as he laid them out, explain exactly why we did what we did. Moline is open for business, right? So that's what we did there. We need to do the same thing with our housing program. Our housing program is in different places, and we need to bring it all back together under one roof and to have a very clear direction so that we can start addressing the issues neighborhood by neighborhood, which, you know, people do point out. They will point it out to you in terms of what's going on in their neighborhoods. So we're going to attack that differently going forward and have a comprehensive, cohesive program. And then City Hall renovations will go back. And then, of course, you can't do anything. You have to mention South Park Mall, the redevelopment. That cannot stand. That cannot stand. That's 86 acres of untapped financial resource for the citizens of this city. And frankly, the mall will not come back. We all know that. It will come back in a different shape and form, but it will come back. So short of just putting grass where all the asphalt is, which I suggested to them at one point in a meeting, you know, we're going to want to see a redevelopment plan down there that's meaningful and perhaps addresses some of our housing needs as well as some of our commercial needs that go unaddressed, you know, in that part of the city. So with that, I could go on for hours. The mayor knows that. And I said I would be brief. I know you want to celebrate your victory tonight and go out. So with that, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. Anyone have questions for this time? Note he also has these two sheets. The definitions I think are very helpful as we get our minds wrapped around what we're actually trying to get done with a revamped strategic plan that's manageable and measurable. Financially feasible, yes. All right, so if there's nothing further there, we move to our miscellaneous business. There are a lot of events happening in the Quad Cities and in Moline specifically. I know I will be running around to a couple different things this Thursday. One is a childcare discussion with birth to 5 in the Floreciente neighborhood, and we do have childcare centers opening up there. I just signed another ARPA childcare workforce infrastructure loan this week for another organization. So that program that was started under the previous strategic plan is rolling, very much so. But there's specific conversation in Floreciente with the Floreciente Neighborhood Association this Thursday at 5, I want to say, or 6. But that information can be found online. There's also a celebration at the school district, a birthday party for Dexter Johnson, who's very well known and loved in the community. So if you want to get out and about with the community, that would be a great place to be. That's an open house from 6 to 8 p.m. at Wharton. So we thank our friends in the district, both retired and those currently there who are planning all of that, celebrating.
What day was that, Mayor?
What was that?
What day was that?
Thursday, the 4th, yeah. And just keep us all appraised of other events that you find out about that, you know, if we want to be an actively engaged council, we need to be out there in the community. And so we generally share those dates and also report back during miscellaneous how some of these events went. And that is all I have this evening. Ms. Murphy, do you have anything to share in miscellaneous? No. Thank you. Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a question with the flooding. Is there any events or anything what kind of an impact is it having on events, parks, public works?
Well, it's obviously having an impact along River Drive. Milltown closed, if I'm not mistaken, is what I heard this morning. But the university remains open. Businesses know what to expect and they're pretty resilient. The access comes, of course, from behind. Right now, University Drive will, not University, but River Drive will likely be closed for at least another 2 weeks minimally as the water recedes and then the cleanup begins. Did Rod leave? Is he still here? Rod's still out there? This is the gentleman who is actually protecting the city from the floodwaters. Right in here, okay, great question. Regarding all
Can
things
you come
you,
under this square? That's the microphone.
it's gonna be under the square.
Yeah, under
The transporter.
green light.
Code of silence.
Right here, the cone of silence. You have no idea what that means.
Nonsense. So anyhow, just kind of a brief update on what we are doing in the city to combat the river.
Sure. So we're very fortunate here in Moline to have been blessed with a lot of work from people before me. There's a great deal of effort that's gone into the stormwater system to protect things in the downtown area, especially improvements to the pumping systems that are permanently based out there. And so really what we do in any flood is kind of fun because everybody gets excited like this is something new. Alderman O'Brien's probably never experienced a flood here. But basically, River Drive closing is a regular occurrence, usually a couple of times a year, sometimes more frequently than that. And usually that's our normal typical flood. Obviously, this flood is beyond that. I think it's officially number 7, I think is what they've settled on in the top 10 highest crests for this year. And so what we're doing currently is we're pumping down around Bridgepoint. That's a low area there. We've got a couple of storm systems that kind of converge right there. And so we're pumping that primarily to keep the building dry because that's obviously now an asset that the city owns. And so that's what we've been doing. We did reach out to our county EMA office to get some additional pumps. And so we were able to work through that. And we got a couple of additional pumps from the Army Corps of Engineers. And so we've been working hand in hand with them and things are going quite well thus far. The biggest thing with flooding is on the Mississippi is it comes up slowly and it goes down even slower. So everybody's excited. We've crested and so everything's going to be fine. I believe Eric just got some calls today. When's Ben Butterworth going to be open? When can we have shelter rental down there? It's going to be a while. It will come down very slowly. I believe next week at this time, it's going to be down about 2 feet. But for example, right in front of Western Illinois, there's approximately 5 feet of water right out directly there on that little bridge there just to the west of 34th Street. So that means there'll only be about 2 feet of water over that bridge. And you'll be able to see most of that little Ford Ranger that's been parked there for a little while. You haven't noticed that yet. So it's going to take some time. And then obviously from there, the cleanup process takes quite a bit of time as well. So please be patient with us. Tell your constituents we're doing everything we can. This is what we do. We've done it. We've been there too many times and it'll happen again. So if there's any specific questions or anything else you're interested in hearing,
I just
Yes,
have
Mr.
one.
O'Brien.
I've got a few calls about people driving around the barricades and actually driving through that. Have you-
Oh, it happens every time. Sure. The
how
others.
many average, you think?
Oh, there's probably that are actually getting stuck then that swamp out their vehicle.
I guess I'm
or-
just who's crazy enough to do it.
Well, there was a UPS driver yesterday.
Oh,
So it's just on a daily basis. And most of that's, in areas where you can see maybe there's pavement on the other side of that water. So you think you can get through there. But yeah, people are driving around barricades and doing that. That's.
Just to be clear, though, there are some barricades where people do have to drive around to get to Western,
Correct.
for example. So we want the community to be
Right.
aware that not everyone is breaking the code of safety.
Yeah.
Some of it is, and that's how you get to the back road access to the
Correct.
residences.
Via 34th Street to get to Western and some of that, and via 41st Street for some of our other residents. No one should have to drive through water to get to any of their homes or businesses. They all have access some way via dry pavement.
That is the update I gave CNN over the weekend. Thank you for being responsive over the weekend when I checked in with them with the same questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Ryan.
Anything
Welcome.
further,
Thank
Mr. Macias? Mr. Rozak? Mr. Timian?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to welcome the new members to council. Next week, I will be remote, so heads up. Do that in the cow room. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. A number of us attended Project Now's Poverty Conference last week, And I'm glad that Mr. Vitas mentioned housing and that being on the strategic plan. You all know how single focus I can get with bike lanes or sidewalks, and I'm going to be moving that to zoning. So just be expected to hear me talk your ear off about it, with the goal of helping remove some barriers for affordable housing and just housing in general in the city. So I look forward to bothering you all about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Finch.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. O'Brien.
Welcome new members to the council. Look forward to exploring natural prairie plant opportunities at McKinley School. All of you.
Very specific
Very
objective there,
specific.
Mr. O'Brien.
And I'd like to thank the Parks Department and the Illinois Rotary for the event, the tree planting we had for Cecilia O'Brien last Friday. The mayor was there. Thank you for that. It was a great ceremony. Cecilia would have liked it a lot. And I too was at the poverty conference, and it was well attended. There's a lot of people there. And I hope that the city can work with Project Now on some of Reverend Ford's issues.
Ms. Castro. Mr. Schmidt.
Thank you, Your Honor. One other event happening this week that I want to call out, in fact, happening on Thursday as well, is the Moline Skate Park initial design session at the Moline Public Library. So that's at 6:30 on Thursday. I'm very excited to be there. Looking forward to that. I also would like to extend a welcome to the new members of council and just thank all of you for answering the call to come and to serve our community. Looking forward to working together over these next 2 years at least.
Thank you so much. Anything from staff? Miscellaneous business?
Not this evening, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Lodi.
Good things were happening in Moline 30 years ago, as evidenced by Carol's remarks. And so Charlie's got an award that he would like to share with you all. The mayor received last week.
So the Moline Water Division has recently received an award from the Illinois Department of Public Health. And this is for receiving or maintaining the highest level of compliance with the Illinois Fluoridation Act. This is our 30th year in a row, so it's well before any of us were there. And what this actually does is we're the 7th longest continuous community for maintaining that. So we're very proud of that. So what that means is every month we hit our goal, and that's where so to reach that goal, we have to maintain our fluoride levels in a very pretty tight, narrow range. And if we hit that range, what that does is it ensures that the residents of Moline are getting the highest benefit of the fluoride. Too much can damage too little, no protection. So if we hit that correct amount, what it does is it provides the residents, so for about every dollar spent on fluoride, you get a $20 return. And so for our residents, that is about $32 per resident per year saved in not having to go to the dentist bills, not miss school because of dental work, not missing work because of dental work. So it provides a pretty good citywide benefit to everybody. But that couldn't be done without our lab and our water plant working hand in hand. So this is Tom House. He's our lead operator at the water plant. He's been with the city for 14 years. And this is Robin Markle. She is a lab tech at the utilities lab. She's been with the city for 15 years. And so the state sends me an email saying, hey, congratulations, you hit your mark again. You're doing a great job. But really all I do is sit back and let the lab and the water plant work together and do their thing. So it's a great example of these two different groups working together. Shows that we've got some great communication, and it shows that we're doing some really great teamwork. So she does the lab work, and this is every day, just like he was talking, that river changes every day. So you got to tweak that fluoride up and down. She gives Tom a call. Tom knows just what to do, get it in that range so that we hit that mark right in the middle. So these are the two, among others, that are doing a great job. I have a whole lab that is focused on it. We've got a whole team that knows what to do. But again, we're just the latest in a long line, and so hopefully we can, I believe the finance got a 30-year, right? So,
Round of applause.
Competition now. Thank you so much.
You.
If there's no more miscellaneous business, is there any public comment? Seeing none, we have no executive session, correct? I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Macias, seconded by Tamian. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Congratulations.
That's
Can
the
we take a
easiest meeting.
picture, all 9 of us?